So we'll have to prepare for the next one. That, I'd say is will get attention this time.
Ooh,
And the one idea is how we are going to exterminate white people, because that, in my estimation, is the only conclusion I have come to.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for clicking in. We got a 6.0 on the Richter scale. What is that? Is that another tsunami? Is there a nuclear plant nearby that needs a good flooding out built on a fault line zone? That was weird that Japan did that. Kind of like they were like, hey, let's just see what happens. All right, anyway, so enough of the shenanigans. We're going to crack this evening off with a dance team from New York. Here is an article I found. New York's police department has a dance crew team. Let's look at this and see what we got going on here.
Move two.
We're talking about the NYPD dance team, and Fox 5's Jennifer Williams caught up with them as they practice tonight.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8.
In the auditorium of One Police Plaza, New York's finest, marching to the beat of a different drum.
It's open to everyone, so we have ranging from me who's danced for my entire life to people who have never danced before, ever.
Oh, you don't say. Oh, you don't say. Let's look at this right quick here. I can't do the audio because the thing is with the whole thing about the copyright, so let me cut the audio real quick there. But check this out. Look at this. Okay, so you don't say. Look at this. This is DEI again. We're just going to do this. Yes, you're well. So this is how we're going to fix crime, everybody. This is how we're going to fix crime. This is in New York. Okay, I'm just showing you this because I'm running a narrative here, guys. So stick with me on this. I'm running a narrative. One couldn't even get up. I'm back. All right. So there is whenever, like, those movies where they would have a dance off, like a 50s movie where they're like, oh yeah, and they're like, yeah, the gangs would meet up and they'd snap and they would dance at each other and everything. That was supposed to be like not a real thing, but I guess that if something happens and an illegal migrant shoots up a place and you get shot in the leg, or if your police officer get the crap beat out of you by 5 of them and they steal your cell phone just to try to sell it for like, I don't know, whatever, they're going to call these people out here and they're going to dance off with you. That makes 0 sense, by the way. Harlem residents outraged that this right here. Here you go.
Residents after scrapping a plan to use luxury neighborhood complex to house migrants.
Once it came to my attention from your senator, Senator Claire, we said, wait a minute, hold on, hit the pause on that. That can't happen. We're not going to use a new structure when you're dealing with issues right in the village of Harlem.
By the way, whoever told him to wear that sweater, epic fail. That looks like that's your Asian lesbian aunt sweater. You're supposed to get that at a Goodwill. So I bought a lot of big speakers from the Goodwill, so I'm not knocking the Goodwill. I'm just saying.
Yes. That is the pause. So let's be clear on that. Migrants and asylum seekers are not moving into that location. I stopped it.
But outrage.
Okay, wait a minute. So first of all, he says he had no idea. Just lean into this.
Residents at that meeting, including our next guest, say they should have been told from the very beginning. Joining us now, Ruth McDaniels, Tiffany Fulton, Darrell Fulton, Leslie Johnson, and Gilda Dunn Gillum. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining the program. I'll start with you, Tiffany. You said you couldn't believe that he's doing this during Black History Month.
Well, when we say he, not necessarily the mayor, it's the city, DSS and DHS.
Why do they keep defending Eric Adams? When are they going to realize that the mayor allegedly knew full and well what was going on? You don't think for 1 second that he wasn't told this was happening? Guys, there's just no way around that. He knew it good and well. He thought that nobody would notice. He thought that he could slide this one by and nobody even see it. But it's came down to the fact that where people are starting to wake up and even though they're still going to vote Democrat, they're going to vote for this policy. Come 2024, Eric Adams will win his race. They'll put him right back in there. and they'll ask why it keeps happening instead of self-reflecting and saying, I think I'm voting for the wrong people. But I'll digress on that because that's only alleged. I can't speak to the fact on that, but it just seems awful ironic that they keep defending somebody who obviously stood New York is a sanctuary city, signed it all in, contracted it all in, got already paid for it, can't back out of it, but can say on camera he wants to back out of it, but he's not going to because he's getting paid. And then come 2024, they'll line right up, vote the same fool right back in, and then ask, why does it keep happening? It's as simple as that. It just, look at this. Check this out. This is California. I mean, I'm sorry. This is not, I got to think. I'm on my Twitter page. We haven't got there yet. We'll get there. California voted in or signed in somebody who's not even a legal citizen, who can't even, I don't even think she can speak English. If she can, barely. But it's a Chinese operative, allegedly, and she's going to be running the elections in California. And it was just kind of ironic that CCP people just came down there, Xi Jinping and all that, to clean up all the poop, and then now you have this operative in there running all the elections. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Chinese fishing vessels are going scorched earth on pumping cyanide into the contested waters, the Philippine Fishing Authority says. Yeah, so China has an organization of fishing boats that go out there, and they're militarized. They've got radar systems. They've got, I think some of them even have weapons on them for defense, quote unquote. But what they do is they go in there and they do an invasive mass fishing expeditions, and they actually don't pay heed to any of the natural habitat in the area. Go around and scoop up every living thing that they get in their dragnet, and whatever they don't deem as a necessary product to sell, they just either they don't take any care that the dolphins, whales, sea turtles, everything. They just kill it all, and then there you have it. But see, what's happening is there seems to be somewhat of a legal battle now, and they're trying to rein this in because they realize what China's doing to the waters and how much they're cornering the market on the fishing industry, and they're trying to do something about it, pretty much. And then what's happened is China says, oh yeah, we put cyanide in your water. We put the cyanide in your water, and then we put a nuclear fusion water in it, but your water. They dumped a whole bunch of radioactive water in the ocean last year or 2 years ago, something like that. Like, yeah. Where's the green people on that? Where's the people going to China and flopping all around and gluing themselves to the road in China? I don't see that happening anywhere soon. But Trump's come out with some golden shoes. I'd buy a pair if they weren't sold out. I'm just, oh yeah, here you go. This is a good one. This is good. Now Biden actually says he meets a whole bunch of farmers, and he's talking some kind of gibberish, and ends up saying something about boiled chickens. Listen there close to the end. I think I'll start right here so we don't have to listen to the whole thing. But at the end, this guy here is like, just watch. It's cringeworthy, but it's also like, what?
Everybody thinks Delaware is $4 billion.
That dude's like, yes, you're nuts. You're crazy. You're not in your right mind. Watch this. Oh, wow. He's like, wow, this dude is still allowed to walk around. Watch this.
Whole lot of broiler chicken.
What?
Whole lot of broiler chicken.
That's weird. That's just really, really weird. How would you like to know that that's our supposed president? And like those people are trying their best to deal with the fact that he's there. You can tell they don't want to be there. They're like, here, you want to do a photo op with Biden? No, come on, we'll give you $30. All right, I'll take the $30. And the uncomfortable look on those people's faces is priceless because they understand that he is the reason why. See, this was a visit to Pip Dyke, just a little ways away from Palestine, Ohio, just to let you know kind of what that was all about. But those are farmers, and he was, of course, the farmers are under attack right now because people like AOC are trying to get rid of livestock, and the other green, like John Kerry and all these crazy people are actually doing their best to get rid of any kind of farming that's traditional that produces high yields in food. And a lot of these farmers, if they're allowed to do what they want to, like not always, but most farmers, when they're allowed to operate under the system they know works in the area that they're at because they've lived there, their farming techniques are quite good. They don't have the negative benefits that mass farming does. Mass farming in big, huge like areas where they grow like big, huge mega farms. Those are the ones that actually produce most of the problems with fertilizer runoff because of how they operate and create so many issues. And then you've got, like I say, almost $4 billion
agriculture. $4 billion. Wow.
That's just that dude. Wow. I don't know. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Just your typical DEI affirmative action judge. This woman here, Pennsylvania judge Sonia McKnight, charged with some kind of crime after allegedly shooting ex-boyfriend in the head as he slept. There you have it. This lady right here. Legend has it, I think 5 or 6 years ago, she shot another former ex-boyfriend in the groin. I don't know if it killed him or not, but it dang sure did something bad to him. And I don't know how she was able to, other than she's a judge, but that's a judge. Those are some of the people who are in charge of your legal proceedings and where you're going to be headed whenever you do something wrong. Don't think for one second that she isn't looking out for a certain entity. And that's crazy. That really is. We just get that. But let me see here. Where's this woman at? This is the okay. So this is China. I mean California. And I thought that somebody had dubbed this audio over when I first seen it, but no. This is her celebrating. This is her acceptance speech, celebrating her victory and becoming part of the Elections Commission's operative. This is Kelly Wong, a non-citizen who cannot legally vote in the U.S., yet was recently elected to San Francisco's Elections Commissions. This was her victory speech. We'll play this, and let's see.
咁就其實喺2年前我嚟到三藩市嘅時候咧，咁我就認識咗好多原來三藩市有好多嘅
It's funny that they translated the Chinese into Chinese.
權利嘅喎，好多權利係好多非公民啊、移民咧都可以享有嘅，包括咧就算你唔係公民咧都可以咧去做委員去影響政策嘅，好多時。
All I heard was Toyota, Honda, Suzuki, Nintendo, and we harvest the organs of living Uyghurs for practicing a religion other than the Communist Party. Is that what did y'all hear that?
其實我哋華裔啦，或者亞裔嘅聲音咧都比較薄弱，咁咧特別係識講中文或者其他語言嘅人咧更加少咧係有個代表性嘅喺個議會上邊，所以我覺得亦都因為咁咧，我就覺得我好想代表我哋移民嘅。
Eric Swalwell gets a hard on. He said, "Boing." Oh no! And this dude right here is actually coming after his own kinfolk. Huh? I don't know.
I'm being so serious when I say if I catch a single member of the black race, of the African American race,
takes his glasses off. I'm getting serious about this, guys. Take my glasses off.
In the Trump ones on the street, I'm jumping you. And I don't even think
I would have nothing to worry about if he was going to jump me. But he's talking about, I don't know, I guess is whatever you want to call that they say about each other. But that guy right there said he's going to come after you if you wear some shoes you want to wear. If you like a certain kind of shoe, for whatever reason you like the certain kind of shoe, he's going to come after you with that toboggan that his Asian lesbian aunt knitted for him.
I'm going to win the fight. Ultimately, I'm a small guy. I'm 5'5". I don't even fight like that. The only time I was ever in a fight in school was because somebody stole the Harry Potter wand I made in choir camp. And we got into a physical fight about it.
It was probably one of his own, somebody in his choir camp. I'm just going to go out there on a limb. More than likely, this church has a certain, demographic, maybe just saying maybe. And they were like, what are you doing with, this is the same thing. This is the same thing. So he's going to get mad because you want to buy a certain shoe and you want to wear a certain shoe. So, and he says that he got in a fight because of somebody taking his Harry Potter wand. And then he's going to, I mean, just listen to the logic behind this. It was wrong that they took his Harry Potter wand because it's something that he liked. Of course, it represents something else other than what he likes or what maybe his church was into. And so they took his wand and he went after, he's like, we're fighting after this. But then somebody of like maybe possibly, like I say, possible relation of some sort, whatever that might be, wants to wear a certain shoe. Now he's going to come after you. That doesn't make any sense at all. That's just stupid. With his Asian lesbian aunt, grandma, person, knit toboggan thing. Like I said, nothing to worry about here. By the way, here's the shooter from Burnsville, Minnesota. There you go. That guy right there. That's who did all the shot those cops up. By the way, those cops are actually Obama supporters. They've come out and said, hey, that I think 2 out of 3 of these cops, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad, by the way. If you ask Meatloaf, he'll tell you the same thing. 2 out of 3 is not bad. 2 out of 3 of these cops were Obama supporters and voted for him and did all this stuff. And this guy took them out. Took these, that guy right there. And if you ask me, he kind of looks like he's weak individual. Speaking of a weak individual, there is this right here.
And empowerment.
Look at this. Oh wait, I can't do anything right. I'm a DEI hire. Here, look at this.
It's kind of what got me started wearing high heels.
No.
In the first place, I saw a woman walk into the airport, and I heard that distinctive click, 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 and I turned around and I saw this woman wearing a pair of stilettos heels. She just had that look of confidence and empowerment, and I kind of feel that when I wear a little bit higher heel, I feel a little bit more confident. I talked to.
Are you serious? Are you serious? He's wearing a high heel stool. He's sitting on a 6-foot tall stool. Who is this guy anyways? Who is this dude? It says Mark Bryant, a robotic engineer, a football coach, and a married father of 3, but best known for his fashion icon. He lost a bet. He lost a bet. He must be hanging out with Bill Gates and all those other BlackRock people, and they said, you know what? If you lose this bet, you're wearing those heels and you're going to do a thing. And I guarantee it was the Taylor Swift football game. He bet on that game, and he lost. And now, one more time for the road.
Like the way they look, and the higher the heel, it kind of gives you more of a sense of confidence and empowerment. It's kind of what got me started wearing high heels. In the first place, I saw a woman walk into the airport, and I heard that distinctive click, 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 and I turned around and I saw this woman wearing a pair of stilettos heels. She just had that look of confidence and empowerment, and I kind of feel that when I wear a little bit higher heel, I feel a little bit more confident.
He's got to be like 4'3" or something, maybe. In real life, he's just really, really short. Why didn't he get some of those DeSantis shoes? That would have been the thing to do. At least, I mean, he might have looked like a clown, but I mean, they give you a little lift at the end. Does anybody remember the Seinfeld episode where everybody got mad at the midget because he was, or the person that's vertically challenged, whatever, because he was wearing some step-ups? You remember that? Yep. Oh, by the way, there's a big trucker thing in New York where they're not like there's no trucks going to New York. They're going to boycott deliveries to New York. And I say go for it. Please do. There's nothing but, seems to be that, I think all the Americans that left New York a while back, and now they're just flooded with the illegals and a bunch of Chinese Communist Party operatives and stuff. So it probably won't matter if you just don't bring anything up there. Simple as that, if you want your stiletto heels delivered by Amazon, you should have never sued Trump. Let's see here. I got some other articles too, but I just wanted to cover some of that stuff off with the twatters. But so here we go. This is it. This was like last week I talked about So in Chicago, and you can look this up. I'm not making this up. Mayor Brandon Johnson has actually, it's offline now because I think it was February 16th, which was Friday. They did not renew the contract for their shot detection system. Like if there's gunfire that goes off, there are acoustic sensors around the area. This is nothing new. A lot of big cities have them to kind of like allocate resources to possible gang violence, so that they can kind of be like, okay, so a lot of gunshots are going off over here. We probably need to focus police attention to this area because it's dangerous and people live here that need to be safe. We need to protect the businesses, protect the homeowners, protect the citizens that don't want to be involved in that, and maybe even the ones that do, because your main goal when it comes to gang violence is to try to bring these people out of it and but enable these people to become good, viable citizens, because it's a better lifestyle to live not being in a gang. You will have a better fulfillment in life, and your lifespan usually you're a little bit longer. And if so Chicago mayor calls for non-police response now. So as of February 16th, Friday, they offline now. No more shot fire detection system thingies. But and it was noted that he would be taking a more holistic approach to crime. Holistic. That means more of an organic way of healing crime. In other words, instead of giving a bunch of mRNA shots to crime, he thought he would just try to do a little bit of vitamin C and some zinc, which probably is under certain circumstances, vitamin C and zinc, not a bad thing. But in this case, it's not. You need the full scale experimental stuff to see what happens, because Chicago Mayor Johnson said a solution for the city moving forward is a non-police response to respond to emergency. This situation was made while discussing the city's plan to scrap the shot spotter, a gunshot detection technology discontinued this the other day. Of course, what the article says in my other video. But I'll say this much. Okay, so just look at it like this. Now, hear me out, people that say you're just a stupid conservative who doesn't know what he's talking about and you're retarded. And I'm like, no, retarded maybe. But anyhow, when you don't have police response to crime, then there's no report of the crime on a police report. And then that gives numbers a little bump in the butt in the direction that they would like to go. So whenever mainstream media does reportings on these areas, they can say, wow, the policies have led to a reduction in crime. We don't have, the shootings have, just hear me out, have gone down. We don't have, reports of domestic violence anymore. There's because there's no police to report these. Nobody's taking a police report now. They send out guidance counselors and people with pink hair and transgender books to read to you, to fix you, and nothing gets reported. In other words, that theoretically lowers the number in crime and gives the media talking points. Meanwhile, everybody's dying, like exponentially. So this is the kind of tactic that you would see under an ideology that is somewhat Marxist, when you invert what is actually real. When you, especially if you gray the area of wrong and right, if you decide to put, if you have wrong and right set in stone through definition, so that it's like, this is wrong and this is right. If you just decide at one time to say, well, it's not wrong because I say it's not wrong, and I can do what I want because it's my world that I live in, my little bubble right here, then you have a problem, because you're operating outside of a system that doesn't work, and you'll find yourself in stuff like that. So, let's see here. Let's roll through this to make sure we haven't forgot anything, and we'll get back to work today because we've got a lot of fun stuff to do. And Chicago activist calls for a moratorium on migrants, poor and homeless after an afterthought in their own city. Biden suggests Republicans partially blamed for the death of Russia. What? So Biden is actually going to, I don't need to play the video because we can't understand what he says, but I'll just pretty much kind of sum this up. They're trying to blame us. Us. We're trying to blame Republicans that this dude all the way over in Russia died because we didn't send money to Ukraine. And how you can justify that is absolutely a backwards backbend that doesn't make any sense. But in a world where you can actually change the definitions of things, change the meaning of right and wrong, it's easy to make sense out of this. Matter of fact, the less it makes sense, the more that they want to go in that direction. And I say pull all the money out of Ukraine and bring it over here to the U.S. so that we can start, trying to fix some of the infrastructure that we have going on here. Oh, and one more thing, I'll wrap it up here. Let me just make myself kind of big. Here we go. All right, now, you do know that Trump was recently, he was, the legal thing came out where he has to pay like $355 million in damages to New York because of so-called poor business practices. And it has to do with the way that he attained loans, that no damage was done. No party suffered any loss. And matter of fact, it's a practice amongst all other real estate companies. Leticia James, because of this happening, and all of us starting to point out that it was a complete and bogus ruling, and they had to put out a statement saying, no, guys, no. Don't worry, other business owners. We are not going to do this to you. We're just doing it to Trump. All the rest of you guys that have been operating like this, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You're safe. You're in the green. And I'm not making that up. You can actually go and find this stuff where she's put this statement out. I'm kind of busy, so you're just going to take my word for it. But if you want to do a little bit of extracurricular work, a little homework for yourself, I want you to prove me wrong about saying that. But this is no joke. She actually put out a statement saying that all the other people are fine doing this because she's probably doing the same thing. If you look into her business records and probably the investment she's made, she's invested in, I would say allegedly, because I don't know that, but I would imagine if it wasn't her, it was somebody closely related to her who operates under the same business practices, if not worse. But don't worry, guys, just Trump. Just doing it to him. So, anyways, thank you so much for hanging out. Please hit like, subscribe, and share. It's a great deal to do that because it helps the channel grow, and you guys are awesome, and you guys are beautiful, and even the ones who hate watch this, thank you. I really appreciate it. You have a good one. I'm out.
We have to exterminate white people off of the face of the planet to solve this problem. Now, I don't care whether you clap or not, but I'm saying to you that we need to solve this problem because they are going to kill us.